Best Monopoly Go trick. Hey there, want to dominate the game and leave your friends in awe? This week I've got some top-notch strategies to show you the best Monopoly Go tricks. By the end of this video, you'll be ready to become the ultimate Monopoly master. First up, prioritize property sets over money. When you're playing Monopoly Go, one of the biggest mistakes is to hoard cash while overlooking the power of property sets. Cash is important, but owning complete color sets allows you to build houses and hotels, which dramatically increases the rent you can charge. The faster you complete a set, the faster you can start generating significant passive income. Therefore, when you get the chance to complete a set, go for it, even if it means trading with other players or spending most of your cash. Sometimes sacrificing a bit of money up front can yield substantial returns down the road. In Monopoly Go, you'll find that certain properties, particularly the orange and red sets, are landed on more frequently due to their positions relative to spaces like jail. Completing these sets not only boosts your income, but also makes it harder for other players to avoid paying you rent. If you manage to get all three properties in a set, you can start building houses and then hotels, escalating the rent amounts exponentially. By strategically aiming for complete sets early in the game, you create a steady income stream and control valuable sections of the board. This makes it much harder for other players to survive as they pass through your properties. Remember, cash may help you survive in the short term, but complete sets will secure your dominance in the long run. Prioritizing property sets over cash is a smart investment that will solidify your path to victory in Monopoly Go. Next up, the art of negotiation, making trades that count. Trading is a crucial aspect of Monopoly Go, and it's where you can really outsmart your opponents. The key to successful trading is to make deals that not only benefit you, but also put your opponents at a disadvantage. Before jumping into a trade though, consider how it will impact your strategy and theirs. For instance, if another player is one property away from completing a set and you hold the missing piece, you have significant leverage. Use that property to negotiate favorable terms, such as acquiring a property you need for your own set or receiving a substantial cash offer. Effective negotiation isn't just about getting what you need, it's also about recognizing and taking advantage of the needs of others. If you notice that a player is eager to acquire a certain property, capitalize on that urgency. This might mean holding out for a better deal or leveraging that property in a way that maximizes your advantage. Don't be afraid to drive a hard bargain either. You're here to win after all. It's also important to avoid giving away properties too easily. Aim to receive something of equal or greater value in return, whether it's cash, a needed property, or even a promise to avoid charging rent on a future turn. Keep a close eye on the board, note which properties are needed by others, and use that information to shape your negotiation strategy. Remember, every trade should help you get closer to monopolizing the board and outlasting your opponents. Smart trading is one of the best ways to build your wealth and secure your position in Monopoly Go. Next, invest early in railroads and utilities. Railroads and utilities in Monopoly Go might not have the flash of Boardwalk or Park Place, but they can become secret weapons in your strategy. Many players overlook these properties in favor of color sets, but the consistent income from railroads and utilities can give you a strong financial base early on. Owning all four railroads allows you to collect a significant $200 each time another player lands on one. With players frequently moving around the board, this rent can accumulate quickly and provide a reliable source of income throughout the game. Utilities, while often undervalued, can also pay off, particularly if you own both. When you have both utilities, the rent players owe you is multiplied by the amount they roll, which can lead to some surprisingly high payouts. The multiplier effect can quickly turn utilities into powerful assets, especially when other players are rolling high numbers. Early in the game, aim to acquire at least 2 railroads and both utilities if possible. They're relatively inexpensive compared to some of the high-end properties, but they deliver steady returns that help keep you financially flexible. The income from railroads and utilities can support other investments too, like buying houses and hotels or bidding in auctions. By securing these often overlooked properties early on, you'll set up a solid foundation of passive income, allowing you to expand your empire and outmaneuver your opponents. In Monopoly Go, it pays to think beyond the colour sets and tap into the consistent returns of railroads and utilities. Next, master the jail strategy. Knowing when to stay in jail may seem like a setback in Monopoly Go, but with the right strategy it can actually become a valuable tool, especially as the game progresses. In the late game, when the board is crowded with houses and hotels, staying in jail can offer a safe haven from costly rents on your opponent's properties. Being in jail means you won't land on spaces that could drain your cash reserves, which can be particularly helpful if you're low on funds. You'll still be able to collect rent from your properties while you're locked up, allowing you to build income without taking on any risk. In the early game, however, it's usually better to get out of jail quickly. Early on, you need to keep moving to keep on unknown properties, which is key to building up your property portfolio. Passing on property acquisition opportunities by staying in jail too long could leave you at a disadvantage when it comes to assembling valuable sets. But once the board is well developed and most properties are owned, consider staying in jail strategically. By avoiding risky moves, you preserve your cash and can even leverage your position to make trades with other players. You can still participate in negotiations and trades while in jail, so don't let your confinement limit your game. This strategy allows you to bide your time, collect rent and plan your next move without risking your financial stability. When played right, jail can be a defensive move that buys you time and keeps you competitive until the right moment to re-enter the board. In Monopoly Go, knowing when to stay in jail can be the difference between a narrow loss and a brilliant comeback. Next, building smart. Go for 3 houses on each property. When it's time to build, aim to place 3 houses on each property in a colour set before moving on to the next one. This tactic is often more effective than building hotels because the jump in rent between 2 and 3 houses is significant. However, the jump from 3 houses to a hotel is often not worth the extra cost. By stopping at 3 houses, you can spread your investments across multiple properties and still charge high rent, making it harder for opponents to avoid landing on your high rent spaces. Plus, this helps you save cash for future investments or emergencies. Next, auction wisely. Gain properties for a bargain. If an opponent lands on a property and decides not to buy it, that property goes up for auction. Auctions are a fantastic opportunity to pick up properties at a lower price than their face value. The trick is to bid wisely and avoid overpaying. Sometimes letting other players bid up the price can lead them into a financial trap, while you save your cash for better opportunities. During auctions, stay calm and don't get swept up in a bidding war. Assess whether the property fits into your strategy, and if it does, set a maximum price you're willing to pay. Auctions are a great way to acquire properties without breaking the bank. Next, the importance of cash flow. Balance your spending. Managing cash flow is essential in Monopoly Go. While it's tempting to invest heavily in properties and buildings, you should always keep a reserve of cash on hand. This allows you to pay unexpected expenses, like landing on an opponent's property without selling off your assets at a loss. A good rule of thumb is to keep at least 10 to 20% of your net worth in cash. This buffer gives you flexibility and prevents you from going bankrupt when you land on high rent spaces. Remember, cash is king in Monopoly Go, and maintaining liquidity is the key to long-term success. Next, keep an eye on the hot properties. Certain properties are statistically landed on more often, like the orange and red sets. Prioritize acquiring these properties, as they tend to bring in higher rent more frequently. The orange set, for instance, is often considered one of the best investments because of its location relative to jail. Knowing the odds and statistics of property landing frequencies can give you a strategic advantage. Focus on acquiring these high-traffic properties and build them up to maximize rent collection. By doing so, you'll increase your chances of draining your opponent's cash reserves. Next, know when to mortgage. Free up cash in a pinch. If you're low on cash and need to make a crucial payment, mortgaging a property can free up the funds you need. It's better to mortgage a less profitable property than to sell a house or hotel, as mortgaged properties can be still retained without losing your investments. However, it's important to strategize when it comes to mortgaging. Avoid mortgaging properties that are part of a high rent color set, as it reduces your income potential. Mortgaging is a temporary solution, so pay off the mortgage as soon as possible to restore your earning power. And there you have it. These are some of the best Monopoly Go tricks to help you dominate the board and outsmart your opponents. Give these tips a try in your next game and you'll be on your way to Monopoly victory. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more gaming tips and strategies. Good luck, and may the dice roll in your favour.